Hey, it's Bridget. Welcome to Above Life channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and to fill you up with hope. Today isn't a live stream. I have been trying to do live streams every week during the summer. I thought it would be kind of fun for us to do that, to be able to connect, and I choose just a different topic each week. So I'll give you just a moment to catch up. I'm going to go check on my computer here and see if we are streaming live and if the audio is acceptable here. Let's take a look. Hey, welcome everyone as you're popping in here. Nice to see you today. This is a Friday. It is unusual for me to do live streams on Fridays because it's just busy. But this week has just gotten away from me, that's for sure. I'm actually packing and getting ready. I'm already in travel mode, travel brain. I'll be traveling to New England tomorrow, super early, and I'll be there for a good chunk into the next week. And so I wanted to make sure I was able to do a live stream for you before I go, and I go out on the road there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to share with you a story. So I have a story share, and I teased it a little bit in the topics. This video is going to be about the talk portion that I do. It's going to be about card table psychics. So I got to tell you a story. So last weekend, I talked to you a little bit before in some other live streams about planning for my Purple Magic retreat. I host a retreat every fall here in Minnesota, in Chanhassen, Minnesota, for people who are fans of Prince. And I host a very small, intimate group experience. And so I actually have 2 spots available if you're interested in traveling here and connecting with myself and other Purple Raindrops for that weekend in September. Check it out at thepurplemedium.com website. Information about Purple Magic Retreat is at thepurplemedium.com website. All right, so the story is last weekend, as I was getting ready, I was doing some planning and stuff for the retreat. I have to create the schedule. It's like a big deal, you know. I have to make sure I give all the participants the schedule of events. And so one of the things I had been wanting to do since the last couple of years that I've been hosting this retreat was for myself to experience a cruise on Lake Minnetonka. Lake Minnetonka is a beautiful body of water here, and it's real close to Chanhassen, Minnesota. So I actually went to the city of Excelsior, and it's a beautiful little town, and I booked a public cruise. You can take boats out on the lake, and they do public cruises, and they do theme cruises like dinner cruises and that kind of a thing. And there's like 3 or 4 companies that you can purchase a cruise from. And so it was about 2 hours long, I think, and I had my good friend with me, and I wanted to have the experience. So we did that, and it was awesome. Beautiful Lake Minnetonka, just beautiful. And after that, we're hungry, so we were going to go get something to eat. So we did, and then we were kind of walking down the small, it's kind of like there's a lot of shops, and it's kind of like a small town, a little bit atmosphere, but it's eclectic. There's boutiques, and it's kind of what you'd expect, you know. And so we were walking, and there were, how do I describe this? It was a Sunday afternoon, and there were like the shops had little tables out, you know, like a little sidewalk sale kind of thing, you know. And so we were walking, kind of looking and that kind of thing. And then we happened to come across a big, like a sandwich board sign that said psychic readings. And then it had like a list of things, and it said angel readings and tarot and astrology and chakras. And I thought, I knew my friend would totally do it. And I'm like, I have never in my entire life ever gone into just randomly some psychic person off the street. And I've been in plenty of places where there's like psychic reading kind of little sandwich board signs pointing to some little shop down a back alley kind of a thing. And I've never, ever done that. In fact, fun fact for you all, I never had a psychic session or a psychic reading until after I knew that I was psychic. Never did. I never had any of that and never really had that much of an interest in that. I always believed in the afterlife and paranormal stuff because I had experiences growing up, but I never did psychic sessions. And I maybe because I kind of was a little scared of that. Like you guys, many of you have talked to me about that, and especially in my recent videos, especially in like the Cameron Boyce video. A lot of those comments are from people that have no idea about afterlife, about spirit connection, and most of what people know is like hyped up. It's really overly dramatic, and it's Hollywood stuff, and it's scary movies and slumber parties, and it's all anti-religious and stuff like that. And it's really not any of that. It's none of that spooky stuff, unless that's what you want to make it. It's not like, that's not my experience at all, you know, here as an adult and connecting and all that. And so we're watching, so I thought, oh, I know she'll do that. I thought, oh, you need an angel reading. I figured, because it was like, you know, sales and stuff. It had like it said $20 for an angel reading. And I figured it was a cute little bistro table with like a butterfly and little chairs and on the sidewalk, and there was an angel there. And I thought, oh, it's fine. I thought, oh, that would be fine. I figured we would just sit outside and have an angel card reading. Like a lot of people will be familiar with cards or card decks and using oracle cards for reading. You probably do that. Some of you guys do that with your friends and that kind of thing. So I figured it would just be like that. No big deal, right? Just like a 10-minute thing for like $20. For $20, it's probably like one card, you know, 5 minutes, you're done. And so we were there, we kind of poked in, and a lady comes down these stairs. There's like a big stairway going up to the second level of this shop, and she comes down the stairs, and she said, we're like, oh, do we go up, do we not? She's like, oh, no, can you wait a few minutes? And we're like, sure. And then first she tells us, I need 10 minutes, can you come back? And we're like, oh, well, maybe, you know, and she gave us the card for the $20 angel reading. It's just like a business card. And I said, oh, maybe, I'm not sure, I don't know how long we're, you know, our parking is, you know, we're getting ready to leave, basically, right? We're just heading toward the car. And she's like, okay. And then we start to leave, and we literally get down the stairs, and we walk like 2 feet, and she comes running down the stairs. Okay, I take you now. And where I'm like, I looked at my friend, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is strange. I'm thinking, are we being filmed? You know, like, is this a joke or something? So she comes running down, greets us, and brings us back up the stairs. And there's this tiny little waiting area with these cute little chairs, and she sits down on this little ottoman kind of in front of us, and she said, okay, so, and I was joking as we were walking up the stairs, I was teasing, and I told the lady, I said, oh, my friend, she really needs an angel reading. Her psychic is awful. Her psychic is horrible. She was like the worst psychic ever. And, you know, her psychic, well, one of her psychics probably, I think, is me, right? And so I was just teasing, you know, kind of joking and keeping it light. So we get up there, and she gets to the top of the stairs, and we all sit down, and she says, she looks at my friend, and she leans forward very serious and says, you're in denial. And I kind of was like, what? What? She's like, you're in denial. Yeah, that's your problem. You're in denial. And then she says, you don't need the angel reading. You need all three. Let me tell you, you need a tarot card reading, you need an angel reading, and you need an astrology reading. You need all three. And usually the astrology reading is like $150. The tarot reading is $195. The angel card reading is $157.95 or something. And she's like, for you today, $95 or something like that. I'm like, are we being filmed? Is this a joke? Is somebody pranking me or punking me? You know, I'm like, what is going on? I mean, it was so crazy. I was like, what's going on? I mean, this is just crazy. So, oh man, just a second, you guys. Let me just open the chat here. want to say hello quick to you guys. Hello there. All right. So I seriously thought it was a joke, kind of, and then I realized she was serious. And I looked at my friend and I'm like, oh, like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And we were just kind of, I was like laughing. It was funny. I thought, oh, and then I thought, oh, I'll get my palm read. I haven't had that done since like college or something fun like that. And I'm thinking that's kind of harmless. You can't really screw that up, you know? And I'm just looking and I'm like, this lady is either nuts or used to be a used car salesman. I was like, this is not an experience that I was expecting. and my friend was like, oh, what's going on? Like kind of shell-shocked a little bit because, you know, it was just weird. It was weird. And so I looked at her and I told my friend, I said, look at me, look at me, focus on me. And I had her make eye contact with me and I said, do you want to leave? We can leave right now. We can get up and walk down the stairs and leave. Do you want to leave? We can leave right now. Because I was like, I'm not going to be here. I was trying to be polite. So I'm like, I'm not doing this. She is not. I am not. You are not buying a reading. And I said, and she's like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. And I looked at the lady. I said, she would like the $20 reading. That's what she wants is a $20 reading. She's like, oh, I can do a 20 for you too. And I said, yeah, okay, sure, you know, whatever. Palm reading. And then she's like, okay, close your eyes. I want you to make 3 wishes and say the first 2 out loud and keep the third one to yourself. And I'm like, so I'm thinking, okay, all right. So I'm going to try to be open, you know, whatever. We'll see. So I kind of tried to close my eyes. I couldn't. My energy in my heart was like, oh, there was so much spirit energy around in this place. I'm like, holy crap. I literally felt like I was going to jump out of my skin. And I thought, this is ridiculous. This is not a safe and sacred space. This is not loving, gentle energy. This lady's like a used car salesman. So I let her tell my friend some stuff. The woman, the psychic, was psychic. She was definitely psychic. And it's probably some lineage thing where like her grandmother did it, her mother did it, that kind of thing. And she was definitely psychic, but she wasn't an honorable business person, let's just say that, because literally it was a bait and switch, you guys. So I did tell her at that point, I said, I'm not doing this. I said, I'm not comfortable doing that. I said, no, you can go on, but yeah, I'm not comfortable doing that. And she's like, why not? And I said, I looked at her straight in the eyes and I said, I am a psychic medium. And I'm not comfortable in this energy. And she's like, oh, well, then you know that there's angels here and there's all these little spirits and there's children's spirits. This used to be a therapist's office and there's all these spirits here. And I'm like, lady, that is not a good thing. That you're not selling me on the environment. That is not a plus. That is noise. And my friend had a great reflection after. So she just did a quick little reading thing and we left, right? And my friend had a great reflection after. And she said, well, Bridgette, she said, for just average people to come into that place, they would feel the energy. It would make them feel uncomfortable. And so it would help them to believe that there is psychic stuff going on here because that discomfort, that unsettling energy, that feeling of spirits would help you to believe that this woman is really psychic. It's part of the ambiance and that she likes it, like she feeds off it. And I was like, oh my God, she's right. And I said to my friend, I said, oh my God, we need to clear ourselves. I cannot even believe we did that. I said, obviously I was not scanning the energy enough to know that this was not going to be the kind of experience that we wanted to have. And she started laughing and I said, well, I'm sure it served a point because now I understand what it's like for you guys and what you must think of psychics. No wonder why people who find the channeling for the first time, you guys don't know me. A lot of these people don't know who I am. They have no idea who I am as a person. They just hear the word psychic, and it sounds like some weird card table psychic or some lady like this lady. She did a bait and switch. $20, I'll get you up there. And then we get there and she tells you there's something wrong with you, like fear-based sales tactics, like a used car salesman, and then tries to sell this incredible amount of money. I said, no. And so I had to have that experience myself to be able to recognize that, maybe some of you think that psychics are like that because you've had those experiences. Let me just tell you, we're not. We're not all like that. Let me tell you, we're not all like that. And I do understand now. I'm way more understanding with some of the comments. I don't know if I believe this comments, or is she really talking to spirits? Maybe she's talking to demons, That's kind of some of the stuff that people say in some of these comments and these videos. And it's easy to kind of be like, what? But you guys don't know me. And if your only psychic experience was with some card table psychic set up at some craft fair, just using cards to tell you all about your life, no wonder why you have trust issues with psychics. Me too. I would too after that experience. Oh my goodness. So I would recommend for all of us, everyone, use your judgment of discernment, not just your mind, but drop into your heart, drop low into your belly where your intuition is, and follow your instinct. As soon as I knew, this is funny, this is not right, this does not feel right, I could have literally got up and drugged my friend out of there and got out of there. But I waited and kind of let things play out a little bit because why? I must have needed to have this experience and this understanding. And so the conversation my friend and I had after I said, hey, we got to clear ourselves. Oh my gosh, we need to clear our energy. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't want her like attaching to me or anything yucky like that, And my friend said, oh, we have to go, let's cleanse ourselves in Lake Minnetonka. We must purify ourselves in Lake Minnetonka. For those of you who are Prince fans or have seen the movie Purple Rain, you know what I'm referring to. Baptizing yourself in Lake Minnetonka was one of the lines from the movie Purple Rain. It wasn't actually in that particular scene in Purple Rain. It wasn't actually Lake Minnetonka. It was actually Minnesota River. That's in a city about an hour from Chanhassen, Minnesota, an hour from Lake Minnetonka. But we went to Lake Minnetonka. It was a beautiful day. Took off our sandals and put our feet in the water, and we just cleared it. In fact, if you see the Purple Medium Facebook page from last weekend, you'll see I posted and shared a few photos from that time. And one of the photos is right there in Lake Minnetonka where I was baptizing myself. Well, I was just putting my feet in to clear the energy. And I did it with the intention to help the water, to have the water to clear me, and the earth below, I could feel the sand to let the earth clear me and energetically. So, wow, was that a weird experience? No wonder why people don't trust psychics. I'm like, oh my gosh, you give people like me a bad name. This is ridiculous. So I totally understand. All right, you guys. So with that, let me just jump over the chat and make sure everything's working good here. Today, it is unusual for me to do live streams. Okay, just a minute. Let me just take a peek here. Okay, experience. And so okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to just check here, see how we're doing. I've got a couple people watching. I know, you guys, I did not promote this. I did not promote my live stream. Usually I do, but I didn't have a chance this week. I did not have a chance at all. So that was something that was that was an experience I definitely needed to have, and it opened up my perspective, helped me be a little more understanding when I'm reading some of the comments for people who really have no idea what psychic stuff is. And for me too, like my definition of psychic isn't, you don't go to a psychic to give away your power. You don't go to a psychic to have them tell you what's going to happen in your life. A psychic reading, I had such a hard time for years with the term reading. It's not about telling you exactly what's going to happen. That's not what it's about. And if somebody starts to do that, run. And do not pay them. They cannot tell you what's going to happen for your life because you are a co-creator. You have power. You can manifest, you can change, you can make different choices. A psychic can look and feel and sense the energy of what's up for you and be able to give you kind of a sense of what some of the options are that you're feeling out. But they should never, I wholeheartedly believe a psychic should never tell you what to do. And so when you have session with me, a psychic session or a reading, you're not a book. I can't just look at you and tell you everything about yourself and everything about your future, because if that were the case, you as a spirit would intuitively read all that information, you'd know exactly what to do, and this whole life thing would be so boring for spirit. It would not even be fun and interesting. It's an adventure being a person. So come on. The reality is, it seems like, okay, so let me say this. So psychic session, if you're having a session with me, it's about options. It's about options. It's always about options. It's not about what's going to happen to you. And if that's the mentality you have and you're like, just tell me what to do, just tell me what to do, then you're giving your power away. You're afraid to make a decision because you don't want the responsibility of if it doesn't work out. There's a lot of fear there. And so the best thing to do is work through your own resistance, work through your own fear, work through the places inside of yourself, in your heart, in your soul, and in your mind where you do not trust yourself. Okay? When you work with a psychic, it should be a collaborative experience. It should be a discussion and a dialogue. The psychic should be able to tell you some things that they would not know about you at all. But don't focus on details like, I need to know the date that my father married my mother, or the date that my son was born, or the date that my grandpa died. And then I need that psychic to tell me exactly what I have in my mind, or that kind of thing. It doesn't work that way, because it's not about proof or evidence. It's not about changing someone's belief. Psychic connection and psychic contact is to support your spirit, to encourage your spirit, to motivate you, to link your mind and your heart and your soul all together, unified in your life experience, recognizing your power, not having someone else tell you what to do or how things are going to go, all right? It is pretty easy, if you're very psychic, to be able to sense and see the pathways that someone is considering. And in talking with you, I could probably determine, based upon the energies, which is the most likely path that you will take. That doesn't mean that that's the best path for you. It doesn't necessarily mean that. But who am I to decide that for you? You have to decide that in alignment with your spirit, okay? So I hope that this helps and gives you additional information about psychics and being a psychic and that kind of a thing. And maybe it's better for me. I've had other people tell me too, well, don't use the word psychic then, use the word intuitive. I'm like, no. I have always been committed to using the word psychic because I want to change the way the word psychic, the term, the labeling, what it means really. There's so many definitions and interpretations of psychic, and it's time that we shed those old school values and get rid of those card tables and bring the power back to home to you. So if you work with a psychic, it's best to do it with someone who is like a coach, has a coach mentality, who helps engage you in discussion, but gives you enough information that you know they're connected in, but they don't feel like they have to show off and prove to you how great they are and how they're the one that has all the knowledge, because that's not the case. That's not the case. That's not how it should be. You have all the knowledge, and a psychic just helps you, just translates the information of your spirit, if you're speaking a different language inside yourself, to be able to help you connect to what resonates for you, the clarity of your energy, all of these beautiful aspects of who you are, and to resonate the skills, to turn the volume up so that you can see, identify what your skills are, what your gifts are, and just reflects that back to you. To me, that's what psychic session is. That's what it is, you guys. It's a collaboration, soul-to-soul connection, and lots of fun with other intuitive helpers like archangels, saints, deities, God, goddess aspects, totem animals, and of course, the mediumship connection, loved ones in the afterlife, or in the case of Above Life Channel, famous people in the afterlife. Now, I will say something very important here, because I've been asked a few times, and it always puts me like awkward. It kind of puts me back. I'm like, I always feel really awkward when someone asks. So I want to reiterate now, if you do request a private session with me, just know I do not do private session channeling for individual people with celebrities. I will not do a session for you with Elvis or Prince or Freddie Mercury or Marilyn Monroe or whoever you want to talk to, celebrity in the afterlife. I won't do it. I won't do private sessions, private psychic readings for you with a celebrity. I won't do it. You can do that for yourself. You can connect with them yourself. And we've talked about lots of different ways you can do that. So you can do that yourself. That's not, you don't pay me to do that for you. Now, there might be some other psychics or channelers that do that. So that's fine. Go find them then. That's not what I do. I don't do that. So don't ask. And then don't schedule a session. Don't ask me, please. And if you do ask and I say, no, that's not what I do, that's okay. But don't schedule a session with me and then think that in the session you can ask me to do it and I'm just going to do it. Because I won't do it. Because I don't. That's like not very nice to ask that. It's kind of like that bait and switch. That card table psychic lady. No. Healthy boundaries. Be clear on the connection, the intent of session, right? Okay. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for being part of Above Life channel here on YouTube. I hope you love the weekly channeling. Remember, I upload new videos every week on Mondays. Usually my videos are up by 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and that bell notification, because oftentimes YouTube, they actually just changed their programming stuff behind the scenes, so you might have to redo that. If you want, click it again to make sure that you get notifications if you want a notification to be reminded, because that comes through YouTube. That doesn't come just through me directly. Otherwise, just come on Monday after 9 a.m. Central Time and boom, new videos for you to enjoy. And I've also filmed a couple of, I got some really good ones coming up this week, I think. Of course, they're all good, usually. But I have a couple of, I did do two videos also. I don't know when I'm going to share them, though. Responding to some of your comments, because there's been a lot of comments lately. And some stuff that I think is really worth making sure that we talk about. So watch for my comment reply videos, too. I don't know if they'll come this week. I don't want to overwhelm the feed. They might come next week. But thank you so much. I'm Bridget. It's wonderful to meet you. I do read the comments on YouTube, even if I can't reply to everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it very, very much. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream video about card table psychics. Thanks, you guys, for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend.